I grew up in Ohio, born and raised in Ohio. I had a brother 6 years older than myself, and my parents adopted two of my cousins that were 13 and 9 when they came to live with us. I was the baby of the family. My parents were very nurturing, and there was always a lot of laughter in the house. My dad was often on the road because he was a salesman, and then he graduated to become exec at Westinghouse. So the family moved to Mansfield from Toledo, and then when he got a promotion, we moved to Cleveland. I attended high school in Shaker Heights High School, a suburb of Cleveland. I attended Sullivan's College, a women's college in Virginia, and that was during wartime, World War II. And a lot of the universities were used for the troops, to train the troops. So my choice was the girls' college. I was an art major, and I attended just 2 years. My brother was in the Air Force. My boyfriend was a fighter pilot in the Navy, and he lost his life. It was a very sad time for all of us. My husband was it was the second wave to hit the beaches at Normandy, and he lost a lot of his unit there. And he stayed in France until the war was over. And then they were on a ship going to Japan. They were going to invade Japan. But when they dropped the atom bomb, they didn't think they'd live through another invasion, so they felt their lives were saved by that. I met him after he returned. My parents fell in love with him before I did. When I was away at college, they met him. So everybody was happy with that union. My brother lived in Glendale, and my mother and I came to visit, and at the same time, my boyfriend had just moved, his family had just moved to California, to La Cañada, and we became engaged at that time. So I went back briefly to Ohio. It was hard to find a place to live. He was looking for a place to live so we could get married. And that was in '48 we were married. Our first home was an apartment in Burbank, and then a year after that, we bought a house in La Cañada. I was just a housewife, a domestic goddess. He was a salesman, and then shortly, we were married 6 years when he bought a business, and he was a stationery and office supply store, and he had 3 outside salesmen, and then he also bought a printing business. He had 2 businesses going that worked together. I loved everything about him. He had a sense of humor, was generous. It was too short a time. We were only married 29 years when he died of cancer. So it's been 40 years without him. I'm looking forward to a reunion. We just were very compatible. We traveled, and that was always a pleasant experience. He had no desire to go to Europe because he'd been there in the war. He didn't have good memories there. And after he passed, I had a couple trips to Europe to go to culinary school. I attended a culinary school in France and one in Rome. And we went to church together. We were part of a group that started Mariners Church in Newport Beach. We felt there was a need. It was evolved out of a home Bible study. We felt there was really a need for a Christ-centered Bible teaching church in Newport Beach. So we started that in 1964 with 4 other couples, and I hear they have 4,000 members now, so it was an exciting time for us. We have a daughter, Candace, and she's been nothing but a joy. She lives close to me. She's 10 minutes away and very supportive. She's my banker, my shopper, my all-round girl Friday. I just did part-time work as a favor to friends and enjoyed that. Planning and color and everything that went with interior design. I have 2 grandchildren, Michael and Nicole has 3 teenagers. So I'm a great-grandma. I finally got great. I love my time with my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. There's always lots of fun when we're all together. The thing I like best about Renaissance Village is the fellowship with others at mealtime and with some of the activities. And you can be as quiet or as active as you want. And to be in a safe place and surrounded by good people is a very great thing to have in your life.